Today was a very trying day. Adrian, for some reason, did everything he could to... It seemed like he just tried to make me mad. First thing he did this morning is I made a cup of coffee and I sat on the floor like I was leaning back up against the couch and I had a pillow behind me. And he was playing like beside me, like beside the couch there's an end table. On it he was rolling one of his trucks. And I heard it because the wheels make all the noise on the table. Well, everything just stopped. Like he stopped doing it. And normally when he stops and I see him, he walks from behind me. I mean, it's not really behind me. It's like basically he's like kind of like right here, so I can do this and sing. Well, it stopped. I was like, all right. Generally, when there's no noise or no commotion going on, he's into something. And I turned my head and looked at him. And he had and I set my coffee cup down, and he had it in his hand. And as soon as I looked at him, he went. No, I know. As soon as I looked at him, he went. And I was like, what? Why would you just pour an entire cup of coffee? And he poured it like where he was standing. The entire thing went between me and the pillow, so everything went down the pillow that I was leaning against and down my back on the floor. So I had to clean all that up. And it's just like, okay, since he did that, and he did every single, like I'd be playing with him, and like we have his chalkboard for him, and normally he's always just played on the chalkboard. And if he tries to write on something, I say no, don't do that. And he generally didn't do it. Tonight he tried to go over to my PS4 and write on it, and I'm like, no, don't do that. So he'd turn around, and if I wasn't watching him, he'd go back over to it and try it. And I'm like, no. So it's one of those things. It's like, how do you? I mean, like he's not even 2 yet. So how do you discipline him? I guess was the proper word. It's like, okay. He's like, do you spank them? Do you put them in timeout? Do you? I mean, you can't send them to your room because you have to watch them. So it's kind of like, what do you do? I mean, like, I tell him no, not to do that. And then he just waits till I'm not looking and does it anyway. Like, he's got this thing that he wants to sit on my dog Chloe, the red-headed corgi. And I'm like, no, she's a long-backed dog. You can't do that. So it's just, I don't know. I understand people say they're terrible twos and everything, and they generally end in about 18 years. But I'm just like, I don't understand the reasoning behind. Just seems like he's intentionally trying to be destructive. I just don't really get that. Maybe he'll grow out of it. I'm not sure. But just today, he was just really. I mean, he just did everything he could. It seemed like to get on my bad side. It doesn't matter if we were playing together, or if I was reading a book to him, or what I was doing. He would do something like I got to the point now I can't, if I was trying to read Phantom Toad book to him, I can't read it to him because if I sit in my lap or he's sitting beside me, he wants to reach up and try to rip the pages out of the book. So I had to quit reading that to him. So yeah, now basically the books I read to him are those really thick cardboard books, and they don't take very long to get. I mean, it's like 3 minutes and you've read the entire book. But I'd kind of like to start reading a little bit better. It's a little bit more involved books to him. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Recently, I've been trying to I'm going to try to say it. Get back into playing more like board game type things. And the only issue is right now I'm having to play them solo. So it's like I mentioned before about one of my vlog videos about solo board gaming. But I'm looking around and I've been trying to think of board games that I can play solo, and I'm not actually, there's not many out there. There's like, you can go on to Board Game Geek. There's like, it's a website. If you don't know what it is, it's boardgamegeek.com. Great website for board games, and you can look at them and review. They have reviews for them. But a lot of people have created like single player variants for the games. But I'm really looking for something a little more meaty, I guess what you could say. I don't want to play like Elder Sign. It's a game you can play solo, but it's kind of lacking in story. I want something that's heavy in story that I can play solo, and I've got a few things that I work with. And one is actually something like, this is one of the things I'm reading right now. Can You Survive the Zombie Apocalypse? It's a Max Browler book. It's like a choose your own adventure book. And things like this are kind of fulfilling that need. But drop my pencil that I've been using to keep track of some of my scores and some of the choose your own adventure books I've been reading. Yeah, and that's one thing I've been doing a lot recently that's helped me kind of scratch that itch. But I want something that's got like little miniatures and figures I can move around. The Lone Wolf series, I believe is what it was, that I have on my Kindle. That's pretty good, but it doesn't really. There's no figures. You have this little thing, this little grid thing that you put your pencil down on to help you show you what you basically, instead of rolling dice, you do that, and it. I just want a little bit more. I want just these little figures and stuff. Like I have this one game called the Barbarian Prince. It's pretty cool. It has a cardboard map on it. It's a hexagonal map, and it's got this little pewter figure with it, and it's a little book. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure book. It's really good, but it's kind of sprawling, and it's not really sprawling. It's just, I'm not really sure what I'm complaining about, because I can't really play with Adrian because they're small pieces, like the pewter figure and everything. So it's kind of like the Lone Wolf type books is about the only thing I can do, or the choose your own adventure books. But I don't know. I'm missing playing my board games. I really miss, because it's also the social aspect to it. Getting together some friends, pulling out a board game. I mean, as you can see, I have a few board games. That's not even all of them. In my closet, you saw yesterday, I have more stacked up on the top shelf and on the side of it. So yeah, it's something I really enjoy, something I miss doing. So I'm hoping that I can get a gaming group together, maybe meet. I'd like to meet once a week, but that's probably not going to happen. Maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe at least once a month I'd like to do it. But right now, I haven't pulled out a board game to play in a very long time. Like, I've got a stack of Magic the Gathering cards. I have so many of them that I just don't play. I haven't got time to play anymore. I miss it. I don't know, I'm also very competitive in the way I'm playing these games, and I think that's another thing. Is right now I like competitive games, like in video games, but I prefer the way it used to be, to where you had somebody sitting beside you on a couch, and you could trash talk. You could hit them with your shoulder and everything, and just the interaction with people like that. Actually, a physical interaction. It's not just you're hearing somebody's voice. And I mean, actually, when I play my brother. He lives a few states away. It's it's not the same as having somebody beside you playing. And that's one thing, the reason I like board games so much, is because you kind of have to be around a table or sitting together playing. But yeah, sorry, it's just my mini rant, something I'm missing right now.